Hey, welcome to SSM Exposed Part 2. We've got several people here talking about SSM and whether or not SSM is paying out. We have several reports that have been coming to us of people that haven't been paid, and they're really struggling when they reach out to the management of SSM. They're getting blocked. There's a lot happening. So we're providing a platform here for people to tell their story. We're not disputing the fact that some people are being paid in SSM. We're just basically giving a voice to people who haven't yet been paid. And we're reaching out to the SSM leadership to hopefully get everyone here paid fairly for what they've been promised. So today I have John Pirro here, who was originally part of the people who we connected with and just observing some fishy things that were happening. And John has shed a lot of light on this. So John, I'd like to invite you to the call. And if you could just quickly summarize for everyone what's been happening for those that are new with us, like what's the little history here, and what are we doing here to help people who are falling into this category of frustration and abuse?
Sure. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And mind you, everyone, Brian wasn't involved with SSM. He just had people start to complain to him. And one day we were talking, I hadn't said anything to him. He said, "Were you involved with SSM or aren't you involved?" And I said, "Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am." And he said, "Well, what's going on there?" And I said, "Well, I started telling him the story and how I was abused. It just, it had nothing to do with money with me." And he said, "Well, some people are talking to me about how they're not getting paid." And, Brian was like, we should probably, come out with this and expose it because there's people that are not getting paid. And that's the problem with this industry is that people are afraid to step up and share their stories of abuse, of not getting paid, for the simple reason that, it's that whole thing, oh, you can't talk negatively, okay? Otherwise, you're going to be blackballed in the marketplace and so forth. And, that's the most ridiculous thing in the world. I mean, I understand it. I started, last question. I had enrolled on October 26th by Coach Melvin. And shortly after that, like within a day, he introduced me to a gal. And one of the first things she said to me was that she wasn't getting paid, but she had gotten paid originally first, but then she hadn't gotten paid in the last 3, 4, 5 weeks or so. And I don't know why she's asking me, or I don't even know why Melvin even introduced me to her, but he did. It just seemed really strange to me. So naturally, what do? I go back to Melvin because here I am. I thought this is a great thing because I can help out my friends now, and just friends locally. I'm talking to them, they've never been online before, but all of a sudden, if things aren't, happening the way they're supposed to, the way it's promoted, I can't turn around and promote this to my friends. God forbid they get in and they pay $125. Guess who's going to be paying them back? Me, because that's the way I am. Most people care less. I know there's people like me and they would do that because, it's just, that's people of integrity and people, that feel for their friends and put them in that position, take that responsibility. And we do take that responsibility when we bring people in. So anyway, it really bothered me. And I asked Melvin and, he said, "Oh, John, I got, all these people asking me questions. And I mean, Melvin's got a bottle of whiskey on camera with me." I said, "Melvin, what are you doing?" And he was, he was really stressed out. And he said, "You're on the front line here." I said, "You're the one that's going to be blackballed. Okay. You're the one that's building a brand of being involved with something that isn't working the way it should be." And, and he basically went on to say how, I asked Amanda 10 questions. I, text her or whatever, however he messages her. She answers 2 and doesn't answer the rest of them. And, and I'm like, red flag, and he's like, "Well, no, it's PayPal and it's got frozen." I said, "But the thing is that anybody in this industry, anybody that's a course creator or what have you, knows better not to use PayPal." And I said, that just sounds to me as though that's just one of those things where,
it's just an excuse, right? And sure enough, we come to find out, once we do our initial interview and I shared what I had to say, and then Anne Marie came after me, she shared what she had to say. I don't remember exactly how long it was, but it was within the day. She's being reimbursed by PayPal. It's like, I thought you couldn't use PayPal. Now, however that came across, I don't know. The bottom line is that as things have gone on, they said, please give us a list of the people who say they haven't been paid. Now, of course, they want that list because they want to look up to see if they've done the tasks and they've gone through all, jumped through all the hoops to get, paid for tasks. But, there's no rhyme or reason for how the tasks were paid for. If it's being promoted as a task-based business, then if you do one task and the task is worth X amount of dollars that week, then you should be paid for that task, as far as I'm concerned. But then again, too, I don't know. You got to go through the training. You got to, listen. You got to do everything. I get all that. But the bottom line is that if that's the way you're going to run your business, you're going to open yourself up to criticism by people that maybe just really don't know, and if they don't, go through the training, is that their fault? To an extent it is. But when you have this onboarding system, and I sat through 3 of them, each time it changed a little bit, and then I noticed that the verbiage on the training started to change, where now you didn't have to buy traffic. But when I first got in, I was only in for couple of weeks, but the first few days, when I saw it, I went through it and I saw, wait a minute, Melvin, you never said anything about buying a $250 traffic package. And he said, you don't have to buy it, John. And I said, well, good, because I'm not, because I don't have to pay for traffic. So, through conversations with different people, I come to find out that, if you're paying for traffic, you really should be provided with those leads. I don't know if it should be, or if you're paying for traffic, you really have to be given that information. Nobody was getting the data. So to me, that's another red flag. And I'm saying, wait a minute, isn't this some form of a Ponzi? Now I don't know the exact definition of Ponzi, other than you need more people. You need people to keep getting in order to fund the system. Okay. I don't know the legal terms and legal terminology and so forth, but it's just red flag after red flag after red flag. And so now when Melvin couldn't answer my questions right in the training, right in the first day of the training, Amanda says, contact me and go to Telegram, connect with me one-on-one. And so I did. And quite honestly, prior to me finding out about this one person at that point not being paid in the very beginning, I went in, connected with Amanda, and I praised her for everything that she's doing. How great this is. And I was excited about it because, again, I could help my friends. I wasn't interested in promoting and branding myself with SSM, but it was one of my offers. That's what I was going to do. So anyway, I praised her. And of course, she came back with that long reply to, kind of encourage a conversation. Thank you. I know she's busy, that's fine. And then I went on to say how, when the world gets back to traveling again, I have this worldwide limousine service that we have cars in 300 cities around the globe. And I'd be honored to, help take care of her travel, in the various cities as she travels for business. And she says, perfect. Another long answer. And I'm like, okay, she's not going to get in a conversation with me. I'm just another member, And so then to back up to what I was saying about Melvin saying how, he would ask 10 questions and only get answers for 2. Well, I wasn't getting answers from Melvin. So what do? I ask Amanda. Now, I can't prove any of this conversation because what the end result that happened is she ended up blocking me and the Telegram chat disappeared. Now, it's really too bad because I wish I could show that for proof. But I mean, I don't know, do I have to prove, why would I say something like this if it wasn't true? It was just total disrespect. And the reason why I know that she saw my message, if you know how to read the timestamps, I sent it at 12:36. She read it at 12:37. At 6:36 that night, she still hadn't answered me. Although the other two messages, she answered right away. And then the next morning, she still hadn't answered me by 6:30. But in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. in the morning, Melvin messages me and says, John, you can't do this. He goes, you're going to get kicked out and you're going to get refunded. And at that moment, I'm like everybody else. I didn't want to get kicked out. So I kind of shut up, right?
So John, so you connected with other people that have had similar experiences with this, and realizing your story here has got what got this started. But what has the reaction been? And we have people here to tell their stories, so just wanting to let them know that we're here for that. What has the reaction been by SSM people towards people who are just honestly looking to get answers?
Well, that's, what they said, send us a list of people. Well, we were sending people to, and they asked me or anything, people would come back to me and say, they blocked me and refunded me. So all I could do is, say, when people were, contacting me, I said, just get in a quick conversation and they'll block you and they'll refund you. Now they don't even know they owe them money or anything. It's just, they just weren't going to deal with it. But this is their way of saying, oh no, they've been paid. So yeah, they've been paid. They were blocked and booted out. So, it's just kind of nuts. And, I'm just looking at some of my notes here. So my issue was a lack of disrespect. It wasn't about money, although I could complain that I didn't get paid because I did 7 tasks, but that wasn't the point for me. The thing is that what I found is when people expose the truth, they get attacked. That's what happened to me. The motivation, not me. My motivation was that weren't getting paid, that were taken advantage of, that are victims of the abuse. And so for that, I ended up exposing myself, and I got bashed and ridiculed by all these people that they don't know me. And I've been in business for 30 years. Believe me, I know. People will talk about the guy at the top all the time.
So maybe this is a good time for Samantha to join us and explain how she's had a similar story, because from the very beginning, John and I had connected with Samantha with a very similar story here on her experience. So Samantha, if you could unmute yourself and let us know what your experience has been with SSM, because I know you've been eager to share that.
Yeah, hi guys, how you going? It's morning for me, so just bear with me. So I just really wanted to say that, yeah, I did get paid at the start within my first 5 days, and I was pretty stoked and pretty excited about that. I did get my $125 back, like twice, so I got paid 300 USD. But going on and on and on, I was with SSM for nearly 7 weeks, and I was paid twice. I can't complain. I suppose people have been with it for months and hadn't been paid at all. But it's not really about the payment. Yes, it is, and yes, it's not. The fact is that I was doing the tasks every single week, and they were consistent. They were getting better. They were getting more views. My views were, over the roof in some stages. And I was told that I was one of the highest SSM members with traffic. And one stage, my traffic, if you look in your back office, I had 72 traffic that day. And my traffic, organic traffic, was always generally around 20. But one day was over 72, so they can't tell. And that was those weeks where I wasn't getting paid. So they only, paid me the first 5 days. I don't even know why, because I didn't even have a banner up. One of those, the cover photo. It was really the way that they treated me the first couple of days into maybe 2 weeks. I asked I sent Amanda something that someone had sent me because, good feedback and bad feedback's always good, I think, no matter what it is. It's feedback. It's constructive. And someone had sent me something about, this is how a website should look, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, laughing about it. I sent Melvin it, and I also sent Amanda it. And she just went, oh, how, of course you're being sent it. You are just bait. And she goes, and how dare, I've been having problems being told about you, talking to more than one coach. This is your first and last warning. If you speak to more than one person, then you will be kicked out. And I just said, my words were, wow. I wrote, wow. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day. And I also said, I thought this was a community. I thought we were allowed to speak to each other. How we're supposed to get bigger and better. And then as time went on, I thought I did have a good coach. I had Melvin. We were very close. We were speaking, every day, and we were, just having fun. We were joking, we were laughing, and he was helping me a lot. But as time went on, within my last couple of weeks, my last two weeks that I was there, he'd actually blocked me. For a reason that I can understand why, in a way. Hey, I can understand that I may be annoying because I ask too many questions. But like I said in the email to him, I sent him an email, be an adult and tell me. You don't have to block me like a child and pretend, and just block me because you think I asked too many questions. He said I was being negative because I asked about why people weren't getting paid, why I wasn't getting paid. Like I'm doing the tasks, I'm doing these things. And, I've spoken to people that have been in it for 3 months and haven't been paid a cent. I feel sorry for them. And he blocks me for no absolute reason. And then my mum also got in contact with him because she's also through SMS. She goes, what's going on, Melvin? What's Samantha done? I've showed her all the messages and I've done nothing wrong. And then he added me back that week, the last week, and then blocked me within the next couple of days. And I had asked him I didn't bug him. So there was 4 days where I just, hi, Melvin, how are you? And then the next day, hi, Melvin, hope you're well. Can I please have help with my funnel? The next day, hey, Melvin, what's up? And then the next one just said, what's up, Melvin? And he blocks me. And I'm going, what did I do wrong there? What the hell? And then I talked to Amanda because as everyone was saying, just talk to Amanda. She'll sort it out. Of course, I spoke to Amanda. She did sort it out. She also blocked me that day. She also told me, and the last thing I spoke to her about was she told me that I had mental health issues. And she also told me that she was minus $3,000 because I asked for my money back because she said no coach wants to work with me. And by the way, when she did say that I was speaking to too many coaches, I was speaking to Monika and Jay. So I said, who's the dobber here? Monika. She's the bitch.
Mhm.
So really, she didn't like the way that I asked too many questions as well, which you can be an adult and talk to me about it. But you know what? I'm here. I'm new in the company. I'm new in the online world. Of course, I'm going to ask questions.
I just want to jump in. Let me jump in 1 second. It took you a good couple of weeks before you finally came forward and put out that video where, you were literally crying.
Yeah, because I was really, really hurt. I was really hurt that Melvin can portray himself as such a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly this really good friend can suddenly block you and start treating you like crap.
I agree. He blocked me too.
It absolutely cuts me to think that, I'm new to this online world. I'm new to this public space. And I've now learned that people can be so fake.
Mm-hmm.
Like what you see with me is what you get.
Yeah.
I'm very upfront. I'm very truthful. And I guess it goes through my head why are people not like that?
Yeah. And it's amazing how they'll just say anything to discredit you. I mean, you heard that message that was left to you, Melvin left to you about me. And it's like, how could he possibly know any of that information? He was just saying it to discredit me, and that's what people will do,
Yeah, well, he also called Amanda a bitch on the phone to me and everything. And I just said, you know what? He's smart enough not to have that in writing.
Now, Samantha, you had mentioned that you got your money back. Could you please describe that process? Because people are trying to get their money back.
So I asked for Amanda for my money back, and she denied me. She said, no, we don't do refunds. And by the way, guys, I upgraded on my 4th week. I upgraded to Diamond. Stupid of me. And I also bought traffic that week. I hadn't been paid until the 6 week there or something, the last week. But I got the banners like a week before. But what I'm saying is, so she denied it. So I took it to my bank. And I said, look, they've broken the contract because she blocked me off Telegram. She blocked me herself. The coaches had blocked me. And they also took me off the training platform, but not the back office. Luckily that day, I took a video of not being able to get into my training office. And the fact that they've blocked me with everything, I have evidence. I took screenshots of Amanda telling me she'd minus this. She wouldn't give me my money back, that she told me she had mental health issues. So all of the things that you can get on someone that obviously you're asking for your money back and stuff like that. I took a screenshot of everything, even the Telegram. Before she blocked me off the actual group Telegram, but not herself. So I still got screenshots of that. So I took a video of that as well, and I took it to my bank and said, hey, look, they've actually done this to me. They've broken a contract in a way, because even though she says you should only have one coaching session, that's not right, because they said coaches are available throughout to help you. But if you are only allowed one coaching session, she doesn't mention that in the training. She mentions that coaches are available. So I just took that to my bank, letting them know that she's broken the contract. She's blocked me. I've got no help. And I also said to my bank, hey, if she suddenly adds me back into the platform, will the claim still be okay? And they said, yes, they can't just suddenly add you back after you've made the claim. That's like them kind of trying to quickly cover their feet. So it still stands. Luckily, I took that video. So I'm getting my money back from my bank.
Yeah. Samantha, thank you so much for speaking up and so forth. And I know how hard it is. Like I said, it did take you a couple of weeks before you came forward. And, I got to tell you, there's been so many people that have not tried to enter the room, that have come into the room. And I would turn around, I would send them, I see that you joined our group. Please share your story with me, if you're a victim of abuse or you haven't been paid, or if it is working for you, let us know that too. And thank you for being here.
That though, I didn't want to share publicly, because she might not do that to people. She might not take them off Telegram. She might not block them.
Exactly.
So you want to be able for people to come forward and ask them to ask you, because if you share that publicly, she won't do it to people. She'll click on, and people won't be able to get their money back.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they asked us to give them the names of the people, so we were sending them the people.
Yeah.
And the moment that they asked about money, they were blocking and, refunding and, using fear and intimidation. It just doesn't make sense at all. Is there someone else here? I know there's a few people that asked, they're still not ready to come forward, and that's understandably so, because, you have the hope that, you are going to get paid, because you do have money in the game, and, you do like the training and so forth. I mean, it's not, We're not saying that it's the system's bad. We're not saying that it's not working for a host of people. For probably the majority of the people, it is. But if it was just one person that's getting taken advantage of, two people, that's two people too many. And so there are a number of, I can't tell you how many people have told me, yes, I've gotten paid, so I'm done with it. I'd rather not, because they don't want to come forward, and you kind of can't blame them. But these are people that joined in a membership and it wasn't working for them. So what, you're just going to go away, and then the next victim's going to come along where they could capitalize on them? I mean, people like Jay Earley were just totally bashing me, and I asked him to please take our message back to Amanda. He's one of her generals, okay? He wasn't interested at all. I'm not your messenger. It's not me being my messenger. It's being the messenger for Amanda. We want to help her. I don't want to see SSM shut down, because it is working for people, and it is helping a lot of people. And that's what Jay was saying to me. Look at all the families and look at all the people. So many more people you're hurting than just helping the few that are victims. Well, that to me right there tells me that all the guy cares about is his own back pocket. And he's going to keep recruiting people and bringing people in and putting money in his pocket. And then, hey, if they end up being a victim, oh, well, too bad. I don't know. That just doesn't sound right to me, And so if that's the way it is, I mean, yeah, do I want to see it get shut down? Yeah, I do. Because this is really what's hurting our industry, and you hear it all the time. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? We have a number of people here. Amber,
Yes.
Would you like to speak?
Yes, would you like me to tell my story?
Yes, please.
Okay, around about the 25th of September, I joined SSM, and I was on my personal profile. Then I decided no, because I was inviting a whole lot of different people to my personal profile, that I'll open up a new page, which I did. And yeah, within a few days, I got my first sale. That was on the 28th of September. And then another sale, which I knew about, the actual person that came on board, that was around about the 6th of October. Anyhow, I was then battled to get a one-on-one coaching session, because every time you go on the platform, there was no coaching sessions available. It was, so eventually I sent a message through to Amanda and saying, listen, I need a coaching session. It's now 2 weeks now down the line. I've gone through all the training, etc. And hey, I haven't received a banner yet for my first commission. Then I was sent a banner for that. And then the second commission came in, and I asked again, and no banner. Anyhow, as time went on, these amounts still sat in my back office, and I wasn't getting paid. And
Hey, sorry, Anne-Marie, you've muted yourself accidentally. Could you just back up?
oh, sorry, can you hear me? Okay, I was carrying on with all the tasks, and my traffic was going through the roof. I had already in 2 weeks had over 4,000 followers on my new Facebook page. And I mean, it wasn't me, looking for people. Suddenly my pages were flooded with requests to join. And so my traffic was major. And I mean, I was getting, I had 2 videos that I put out. I think the one got a 1.7K and the other got about a 1.2K views on my videos. And then also all my, my stories and my postings, 400-500 likes and comments, and it was just going off the charts. I also put my asked to prove that my traffic is high. you know, people are liking my stories, they're liking my posts. So I wanted to post this onto the SSM Facebook page. It took them 4 days to approve that. You know, I mean, I'm trying to prove to them that I'm doing everything. Help, why am I not being paid for carrying out my tasks? But I think that's because it took such a long time to get a one-on-one coaching session, which I ended up having a coaching session with Hannaford, and it was a disaster. She was 10 minutes late. She said she could only do it on WhatsApp, and I was WhatsApping her and calling her and saying, hey, have you forgotten, you know, where are you? Anyway, she came to me and she said, no, sorry, she was late because she had another coaching session. So I said, well, that's fine. Then we started going into my page and that was a minute. She was cut off and I don't know where she disappeared to. And then about 5 or 6 minutes later, she came back to me. She said, no, sorry, we had a power cut in New York. That's the reason why, you know, that my call disappeared. And then I started talking to her. I said, but Hannaford, have you actually looked at my page? She says, but which one's your page? So I said, well, it's Marie. Please go to my page. How can you coach me if you haven't even actually looked at my page? Then she tore my whole page apart, and I'm thinking that's strange because the results are there for her to clearly see that I am driving traffic. I'm doing my, you know, all my tasks and everything. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I said to her, but can you just look into why I'm not being paid and why I'm not receiving banners? And she'll look into that. Then I said to her, but Hannaford, you know, when I joined when I joined SSM, sorry about that, folks. I paid with PayPal. Okay, now why can't you pay me the money that you owe me, my commissions, through PayPal? And they said, but no, PayPal's no longer working. So I said to them, but why haven't you notified, you know, everybody that your PayPal's no longer working? Why aren't you giving alternatives? So she says, no, we're using TransferWise now. So I said, well, nothing was mentioned in any of the training sessions, or it's not even mentioned on the back office page that you're no longer using PayPal. So I said, well, okay, let me send you all my information for TransferWise. I had to set up an account. And then I found out that TransferWise, I wasn't able to use it in South America or in South Africa, where I've got another account. So anyway, to cut a long story short, as the weeks carried on, this was until, John, I'm not too sure when we got together about this whole thing about people, because a lot of people were approaching me about not being paid. And I'm thinking, oh, yes, red flags coming up. A lot of people, I mean, we haven't been paid, complaining that they've owed money and that they're being blocked by Amanda and all the other coaches. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to get my money out of these people. Anyway, we started this SSM, I mean, you know, we haven't been paid group. And we started getting a lot of people coming in. A lot of people were frightened. I've even had a coach approach me. And this coach said to me, you know, it's almost like a cult. This entire thing is like a cult. She says, I had to leave my job, full-time job for this, and I've been kicked out, basically. And there's been lots of stories. I mean, I can give you stories and people that have actually sent me texts about what's happened, but I don't want to share it unless I have their permission to do so, because it's been done in confidence. Exactly. But yes, there has been a problem. Eventually, we went live with our video. John, I think that was, when was that? It was on the, when was that? Right. Can you remember?
A week and a half ago or so?
Yeah,
about 10 days ago.
You posted, yes, you posted that in the morning, that post. By 1 o'clock, it was a Wednesday. They never pay out on a Wednesday. I got paid via PayPal by Monika. And listen to this. This is amazing. This is a message I got from Monika.
This is so unprofessional. I can't even believe it. This is the options, TransferWise and Stripe. I don't know what else to tell you. PayPal is not an available option anymore. I'm not sure what to tell you. Instead of attacking Amanda, why don't you try to come up with a solution that you could present?
No, why must I come up with a solution? They owing me money.
It was November 11th that happened that we went live with that.
Yeah. And mind you, I just wanted to share that, you know, this has taken me an awful lot of time the last 10, 11 days and, or whatever it is. And I realized that, you know what, if I drop the ball, this is not going to be moving forward. And then we look like liars. So I was really forced to continue and, you know, encourage people to come forward. I mean, Sam knows I constantly was working on her to try to get her to come forward because she's not going to get her money. And I knew that the longer she waited, the less chance she had of getting her money. And I say that to everyone that's on this call. George, you messaged me saying that you were owed $100. I don't know if you want to come on and share your story, George. If you do, please let us know. I tried to get a response from you in the text here and messaging directly with me, but you know, people have to come forward. Got to come forward because it's our only ammunition. If not, we all look like liars.
You know, John, I was purely paid to hush up because I was making waves. And that was the whole thing. They wanted to keep me quiet. But I'm not keeping quiet because there's a whole lot of people out there. I mean, some people, this is their livelihood. This is the last amount of money they have to put towards a business. And it's almost their last hope to make money online. And, you know, I'm terrified for them because if this whole house of cards falls, there's going to be a lot of backlash from this. And there's a lot of people that are going to be hurt. And I don't want people to be hurt. And it's just the principle. It wasn't a lot of money. I mean, she only owed me $100, but it's the principle.
Right. It is the principle, and it's a matter of disrespect.
Yes, sure.
Guys, can I actually say one thing as well? You know, and the reason why my bank's paying me back because I can see right through this system as well. They can see right through and go, "Whoa!" My bank said they have never heard of something like this before. They said they have never heard of a system that costs so much money and treats you this way.
I don't remember who it was, but just today they said that they did go to the bank. She's on this call. I don't know if she wants me to say her name, so I won't. But she did go to her bank, and they told her that they will not refund her. So I don't know if there's a difference in Australia versus America. But yeah, she told them pretty much everything that you told them as well, Samantha. And, you know, they're not refunding her money. One of the things
has she got evidence?
I don't know exactly what her what she has, to tell you the truth. I can tell you, being in business for 30 years, one thing I learned: the only thing that is for sure is cash, check that's processed and cleared, and money in my bank account. Prior to that, credit card's worthless. Okay.
Should we hear from Sandra?
Yes, we'd love to.
Yes, she raised her hand. So Sandra, if you could unmute yourself if you were wanting to speak.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Hey, John, I'm the one that spoke with you today about my bank.
Yes, I didn't know if you wanted to speak.
Yeah, so anyways, I called again today, and they wanted me to send the conversations that I had with Amanda. So I was able to screenshot it and PDF it and send it to them. So hopefully I hear something from them.
Oh, that's good. That's
And
good.
I am not going, I mean, back to SSM just for payment for task, because they did pay me for the task that I did, you know.
Did you buy traffic?
Yes, I bought traffic.
You bought traffic, so they paid you back with your own money.
Right, exactly. And then I upgraded to the diamond level. So yeah, I am out after I did the numbers, including the traffic. I am out like 850 US, and
So
that's
you
what
were paid.
I
You were paid some money, but the net loss is 800 and something dollars.
right, right.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you know the saying, right? Numbers don't lie.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of people say they've made so much money. Yeah, they've been paid in checks so much money, but they
Yeah.
don't take into account the money that they don't tell you the money that they've invested.
And then as I said to the bank that I couldn't continue talking to her because she blocked me for no reason at all.
Right.
I found somebody sent me the video that Amory and you guys were having, that she was talking about her testimony about what happened, right?
Yeah.
And somebody sent it to me, and I sent it to my sponsor. I did not even send it to anybody like I did not know. I sent it to my sponsor,
Right.
and he sent it to Amanda, and then she just sent me an email, a message on Messenger, and then she just said, I don't want to have anything to do with you, and then she just blocked me for no reason. So I said, what did I do, right? And then I asked my sponsor, so what's going on? And he said, well, maybe you said something in the group. I said, don't give me that crap, because we don't have time to do anything in that group apart from going and congratulating people. And even when I go on the chat, I don't talk to anybody. I just do what I have to do when I get out. So I said, don't give that to me, maybe. And then I found out that he sent it to her through a coach. I called the coach and I said, what's happening? And then she says, well, you sent a video to your sponsor without sending it to Amanda. Like, seriously, if I send it to Amanda, she would be upset. Right? So that was it. And then she just said, I'll send you back your money for the traffic that I did the last week. And she sent me back that 150 for the traffic that I bought, but I'm still out 850 for being a diamond member, which I cannot use, because she said, I don't want to work with you anymore. And that is part of what I send it to my bank, so they will see that on there, and hopefully they'll be able to give me back my money.
Yep.
So I just wanted to stop butt in there. So you just need to really tell your bank that they've broken a contract in a way by saying they didn't want to work with you. Because they don't want to work with you, it is their, they've broken that. And because they've blocked you, they've broken that contract because you no longer have that help. But if you've not really been, they've broken that contract in a way. But if you haven't been pushed out, then you've still got that lifelong access, what you've paid for. And that's where it gets a little bit sticky. But you just need to make sure you just tell your bank that, that you were kicked out.
Yeah.
Okay, we have someone else raising their hand. If you want to unmute yourself and speak, I won't call your name, but if you would like to speak, just hit unmute. And okay, thank you.
Hi guys. Sorry, my name is Lauren. I'm actually friends with George and Anne-Marie, and obviously my experience, I'm only missing $50, but I don't even want to get into that because it just does my head in. Anyway, it doesn't matter about that. I just was on the Telegram group now, and my good friend George, he was on this call right now with us, and I saw that somebody here, he had started a lead company recently, and somebody who was an SSM requested for George's leads, and I don't know where they got it from or what, but I've just seen that Amanda has said that she literally just posted now and said, don't use this guy, because he wrote something about having a Black Friday sale. Listen up, this guy is not with SSM. Please do not waste your money or your time. It doesn't matter if he's not with his SSM or not. You just don't do stuff like that. So why would you go and say that to 10,000 people? George is trying to build his own business. You don't go tarnish because he's got his own traffic company. He's got nothing. We've never said anything about SSM. And she blocked him and didn't want to give him the money that she owed him. So if anything, that is just disgusting next level. I've just seen that on Telegram, and I don't appreciate that.
Is there anybody else that wanted to tell their story? Thank you, Lauren, for sharing your story. Anne Marie, could you unmute yourself? Sorry, I muted people. The background noise was getting crazy here. Just.
Hello?
Yes.
Hey, it's George here. How you doing?
Hi, George. Great. How about yourself?
Yeah, good. I'm a little bit shocked what I've just heard from Lauren. It's first time I've heard this tonight. So, yes, I have started my own traffic company. I'm a wholesaler with another company, and I was just trying to promote my services, and somehow Amanda's just got a hold of it. Wow, there you go. She owes me $100. I know it's not much, guys, but it's the principle. I was always very, very polite. Was talking to her one-on-one for quite a bit of some time. And in the beginning, I said, look, you know, I just want to get paid. Then she goes, look, we don't do PayPal anymore. We do TransferWise. And I think the first time I made an error with what I sent her with TransferWise, I said, look, I think I've made an error. Here's the correct link to pay me. And then another couple of weeks went by, and I said, look, what's happening? I still haven't got paid. And she started being very rude to me, saying things like, oh, you again, you know, like, seriously, you know, like, what's your problem? Like, just being very, very abusive. And I thought, what? I haven't been paid. Like, she goes, well, I have paid you. I have paid you. And I said, no, you haven't. You have not paid me at all. And then she just blocked me. So I reached out to Hanifa because I didn't know who else. I know that she's her right-hand girl. So I said, Hanifa, this is the problem, you know, like I haven't been paid. And she goes, okay, send me your TransferWise details. So I did. And then she texted me back a couple of hours later saying, look, I just had to talk to Amanda. She said she's paid you. Have a great day. And then she blocked me. And that was it. So I know, guys, it's not much, but it's just the principle. You know what I mean. Like,
It's definitely the principle.
You know, I had probably 3 $2,000 sales pending, ready to go, but when I started seeing that they weren't going to pay me, I didn't proceed to close the sale with the 3 different people, because I thought, you know what, if she's not going to pay me 100, good luck in getting the 1,000, you know. So yeah, that's my little story. And
thank you, George.
So that's it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Ambry would like to say something.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ambry. Unmute yourself.
Hi, John.
How are you? I know you're having some issues there with your husband. Just went to the hospital. But thank you for coming on and taking the time to do this.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really glad to be here to discuss some of the things that happened to me as well. It's really been a nightmare. 2 weeks ago, I spoke to Hanifa about approving my cover photo and my banner, and she still hasn't. That was on the 13th of November. And the reason why I approached her was because I also haven't been getting paid. I still haven't gotten paid. I was very consistent in my tasks and everything else I needed to do. But however, you mentioned to me that when you don't purchase a traffic package, you don't get paid. So I'm thinking that that's the reason why I still haven't gotten paid. So
Could be. Makes sense to me.
Any traffic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when I got into the program, I was speaking to someone before I joined, and I think it'll be okay with me mentioning, because I mentioned to him I'm with you guys discussing this and trying to find a way to maybe get paid, but it's really not about the money. But anyway, so his name is Buster Stites. I don't know if you guys know about him, but he became a really good friend of mine along the journey, and he said, don't buy traffic. Don't buy traffic yet. Just do your task and stay consistent and do what you need to do. And I did that. And then I approached Anifa about my cover photo and my banner, and she was kind of helping me get through everything, but was always waiting a long, long time for her to reply. And then finally, eventually, she replied to me, and then I tried to get her approve my banner and my cover photo, and she said she doesn't have the time to speak about the specifics of a cover photo and banner. And I found that really weird, because we had a coaching call and she discussed with me in that 15-minute coaching call what to do. And so I did it. And then, yeah, so she never replied back to me since the 13th of this month. And yeah, I just found that really strange and unprofessional. But the way that she ended the conversation was on a really bad, a negative note. And I really felt really bad about that, because, I'm paying my last money to join a program, and I still haven't gotten paid.
Sure.
I was also told to download TransferWise or update my TransferWise account so I can get paid, because initially they told me to get paid through PayPal as well, but that didn't happen. So yeah, I'm disappointed. It's about the principles. It's not about the money, really. But me being from South Africa, it is a third world country. It's really hard to have an income, a proper income to survive on.
Right.
So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed, and I was very expectant. I was very happy. I'm very excited. I was very excited to be part of SSM, to be honest.
Right.
It
Likewise.
was something that I really wanted to make work, because I'm not working for a boss anymore. I'm working for myself. Um, and it was my first time on the online space. So for me, it was like,
Mhm.
wow, this is going to be
Yeah.
amazing. And now I'm disappointed. So I'm not going to be disappointed to the point where I'm not going to continue doing it. But yeah, I think what you said, John, in the beginning was it is a good place. It's a good thing. It's a good program. The training is awesome, but the people are not treating me too well. So why would I want to stay around with something like that?
Exactly. It's hard to move forward if you don't have confidence in what you're doing, or you don't respect the person that actually created and owns the system. I mean,
Yeah.
how can you in good faith do that? You know, um, I, was there anything else you wanted to say, Andre?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to find out if there's any way that you could get your money back, because obviously I introduced other people to it, and I'm so embarrassed because
Mm-hmm.
they didn't believe in it. They were skeptical, and finally I got them to join, and now it's like I
Right.
told you so.
Well,
And
it seems that the people that are getting their money back are the ones that are approaching them, and it's like they're automatically blocking them and refunding their money. That's what it seems to be the case, because then it's like shut up money, and they can turn around and say, no, we paid her, we paid him, whether it was a refund or not. The point is they did pay.
No,
So
John, that's not right.
what's that?
That's not right. She didn't. She's refused to pay me back.
In your case, right? She has refused to pay you back because
Yeah.
probably because of the $1,000, right, or $2,000.
No. Yeah. Well, nearly Australian $4,000. Yeah.
There you go. I mean, a lot of people I think are in the 125 range, and obviously that's not much money. So people are getting that money back. I got to tell you, there was a woman that's on here right now that I don't want to say her name because she did say I can say it. Devani Brooks. She had messaged me a week ago Saturday. I mean, I was literally
emotional listening to this woman's story. I mean, she put her last money into what she felt was her saving grace, because she doesn't have a job now. She doesn't have income. You know, it is the pandemic and so forth. And she, you know, she went on blind faith, basically, that, you know, like everybody else, you know, oh, wow, you know, I put in some money and I do task and I can at least have some income. But that's not how it's working for her. And, you know, here's this woman, you know, that it's like she doesn't know where to go. It's terrible. So, you know, as many people, not as many, not maybe it's lopsided. There's probably more people that it's working for than it's not. And when I say working for, being paid versus not being paid. But again, you know, you got a handful of people, or a couple of handfuls, or I think maybe 15 people through this call anyway, that, you know, have issues. My God, that's terrible. Is there anyone else that, or Amber, are you finished, or would you like to say anything else? Okay, I think.
Yeah, well, John, again, it's not about it is about, obviously, a huge thing about not getting paid, but it's about how a CEO is treating people, and how her little dogs are treating people as well.
Right.
Like the people that we should be trusting in and the people that we should be following, they end up blocking you when that gets too hard for them. Right. And they're supposed to be helping and encouraging people that are new to online world, such as myself, to build a business, build yourself, but instead of doing that, they talk you down and treat you like crap.
Yep. Yep.
So this is a huge principle for me, and that's what was really upsetting and really hard, especially when I put my last dollars into it, and now I owe a lot of money to my mum if I don't 100% get that money back. My bank says it's coming back, but let's just hope it does.
One of the things Devani just reminded me, she said that she pays whoever she wants at her discretion.
And that's right. Sure. Yes, I was told that as well. Whoever is sucking up Amanda's ass the most gets paid the most.
Right. So you have all her front line, of course they're getting paid.
And that's what I said to Melvin. When I asked him about payment, I said, Melvin, of course you're not going to worry. You're getting paid every single week, mate. You're getting paid every single week, so you don't care about us little people. And he didn't really have much to say. Who cares? Who cares about you guys? Like, I'm getting paid every week.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. So that's all I've got to say.
Is there anyone else that would like to say anything? I'm looking through the list here. We heard from Sandra. We heard from Lauren, Anne Marie, myself, Ambry. Anna is just participating. Anne Marie, Brian, Devani, George, we heard from, Lauren, Samantha, Sandra. So it looks as though we've, and Shruti, you're the only one that, did you want to say anything? And if you don't, that's fine. I don't know what your situation is, if you're a victim or if you were, you know, checking this out to, you know, inform, you know, the Amanda, what's going on. I don't know. You know, I've been contacted by so many people. I got criticized for reaching out to people that it is working for. The thing is, I didn't reach out to anybody. They all came to me.
Well, John, how are we going to help these guys get their money back? What are we going to do? Because this is what this is all about. What are we going to do to help people that come forward get their money back?
Well, I'm going to actually let Brian share what we feel we can share we made in private conversations. We did say here tonight, as far as contacting them, you know, and trying to get in a conversation seems to have worked.
Yeah. John, excuse me,
yes.
Can I speak for a sec?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I just looked further into what Lauren was saying about. I'm trying to establish a leads business. I've got a very good. I work with a very reputable wholesaler that I've done a deal with, and Amanda personally posted an ad that I sent to people, and one of them happened to be, a few of them happened to be their members, and she's personally gone out of her way on the Telegram group to say, do not buy traffic from this person. He doesn't belong with SSM, and don't waste your money. Now, you know, like 1,200 people saw that post, like
Right.
I think about 10 or 20 minutes ago.
Would that be
Now,
slander?
that's not really fair for someone that's trying to start off a business. Like, I haven't said anything bad about SSM or anything like that. I just was promoting my services, and she's gone out of her way to post that in the. That's pretty low. That's
Right.
pretty
Well,
low.
you were trying to help. You're actually trying to help her.
Yeah. Well, no one seems to know what happens to the money when you pay her traffic. You don't get any kind of result. You don't get any feedback. You just cross your fingers hoping that you're going to get some sales out of it, right?
Right. You don't get any data. And George, you're in the business.
You don't get any data. That's right.
If you're in the business,
I give data.
There's no company out there that will sell you traffic and give you no data other than SSM. I mean, to basically take your money and then give you nothing to show for it except for the hope that you'll meet Monika's discretion to get paid. That is just ridiculous. Like, they're preying on naive people who don't understand that if you buy advertising or traffic anywhere, you're going to get a report showing how many videos that produced, how many clicks. I mean, there is not another single company on the planet that won't provide you proof the traffic was delivered.
Absolutely.
It's just completely absurd that an industry.
So I don't know what you guys think I should do about this, but just trying to tarnish my name, and that's not very nice. Like,
isn't that slander, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, if she doesn't want you promoting it to her group, she should privately message you saying, "Look, like we're not allowing outside promotions." But there's a tactful way of doing that, or a nasty way of doing that. And I feel like she's just she has no patience for anything that violates her rules that she's establishing, because it's total narcissism is what it is. And
isn't it free enterprise? Like, we're allowed to, we're in a free world, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be that way, but she's creating this world that's not free, that's just has to bend to her whim. It's a tyrant that's running.
It's totally not fair, her tarnishing my name. So people are going to think that I'm no good with traffic, or I'm dodgy, or without even knowing me. And that's not fair at all.
And the problem is that the people that are close to Amanda, they just come out and attack. They're like pit bulls. They don't want to hear the truth. They just will come out and slander and call you a liar. And like, they just purely attack because they know the real truth and they're trying to justify it.
Can anyone make any suggestions on what I should do about this? Like,
I think you should talk to an attorney and see what they say. I mean, it doesn't cost anything to have initial consultation.
Well, if he hasn't got proof, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, the problem is she's destroying the evidence by banning you from the group, which will actually delete all your comments and all evidence of that. So.
Well, I actually got a friend of mine who's.
Oh, you've got it.
There you go.
I have it, guys. I've got the proof right here.
Well,
so you can see yeah. I mean,
I can send it.
Yeah,
I think speaking to an attorney would be for recourse. I mean, because to a certain extent, freedom of speech. The fact that she's saying you're not part of SSM and don't use you it's a fine line on the legality of that. I mean, I'm not an attorney, so I can't say for sure. I don't think that there's a huge leg to stand on as far as that goes. But to answer John's question about why we're all here to get your money back. So there's a few things that have been established as best practices here. Okay. So we don't have an absolute guarantee yet because nothing has worked for everyone. But here's the recourse that all of you should do is, one, not be intimidated. The first thing you can and should do is confront Amanda, Monika, confront SSM directly if you haven't already. Ask them for the refund, tell them you haven't been paid, and just sternly and clearly ask for it back first. That makes sense. With any problem you have, address the person you have the issue with first. Give them the chance to deliver on what they say they're doing. The second thing that you can do is, now that this is being published, Anne-Marie got nowhere on her own. So when we published this on a Wednesday, their days are Friday, I think it was like within 2 hours, I got the message from Anne-Marie saying she was paid. through PayPal, which you heard Monika saying we don't use PayPal. So when this goes live, they want to cover it up and say, no, we've paid them. So you know what, that can work in your favor when this goes live. But I don't think that they're really hearing what people are saying. They've demonstrated that they don't want to listen. And I think they will probably only get 5 minutes into hearing John tell his story, and they probably aren't listening, honestly, because they've demonstrated that they don't want to hear it. And they just mock you. And, you know, and they just come out with the fight of, you guys are lying. Well, we've demonstrated here today, what would our incentive be to lie about this, right? Like if SSM was doing what it's promising, we would all be here to say it's awesome, you should join.
I have so much evidence stating and showing how I've been treated. Like I said, I'm not arguing about the money side of things 100%. I'm arguing about everything else. That's the way we've been treated, the way that they have stolen my money by kicking me out, because it's supposed to be a lifetime training, right? And a lifetime of help. Yeah. But they've stolen my money by not refusing to pay me back and kicking me out.
And there's another avenue here. So we mentioned going to them directly, contacting your bank. When this goes live, they may pay. If they do have people watching this entire video, then they'll find you and possibly pay you there. But a fourth thing to watch out for is when we post this live on Friday, because tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Now we have these edits, Samantha. Thank you for the extra effort. So it's going to take a little time to go public with this. So on Friday, we'll publish this. So John's going to post that on his profile. I'm going to post it on my profile. What happened last time was you get Monika and Jay saying, you guys are liars, and they mock you, and they have this crazy, like evil stuff, right? Well, and then John and I basically will stand up to them and point out the fact that we're just telling the truth. We're not afraid of them. But what happens is Monika will come out and pretend that she wants to pay everyone. Well, just let me know, and I'll make sure they get paid. I'm the goodwill fairy. And I said, well, can you give us an email address so people can email you for a refund? She says, no, it can only be by text. She doesn't want the documented record of people asking for it. So, but in that thread, watch for Monika to make that post saying, I'll pay anyone, I just need to know who they are. And at that point, you can say, well, I haven't been paid, because this might be one of the only ways that you can publicly call Monika out on that. So beware, like when John and I post this to our profiles, we're going to have the heat of, because Amanda will tell them, oh, these people are attacking our awesome system, so go defend SSM. They're going to come and attack us. That's their
right. And they have more and more people, saying how it is working and so forth.
Yeah.
And like I say, we aren't contending that people are getting paid.
Exactly.
We're talking about the people that aren't.
So be there to take advantage of that fourth opportunity to call Monika out when she says, well, I'll pay, we pay everyone. I don't know what you're talking about. Say, well, hey, Monika, I'd appreciate your help. I haven't been able to get through. I've asked for payment. I've been ignored. Can you help me? And at least that will put Monika in a public position and I've seen her ignore people that say that. She just didn't respond. So at least it calls her out.
There's not a huge amount of people in here today, but I have had so many people come forward to me and say, hey, I've seen your video. Are you okay? I've had the same treatment and stuff happen to me. And I've just told them, I've sent them, say, hey, come look at this page, come do this. We want to help you. We want to do this. And I want, I will try share as much with them as I can. But, we can't really, like you said, do much if they're not going to help themselves. I've tried to help them as much as I can. And, they've just kind of left without their money because they've been blocked as well.
Yeah, Sam, I agree with you. I've invited 12, I think just over 12 people to this session, and they're just too scared to come forward because they're still with SSM and they're still hoping that they're going to get paid. And, all these stories, how they've been treated. And I say, listen, you just got to move forward. You're not going to get paid unless you come onto this forum and let people know that you haven't been paid, which is going to put pressure on SSM to pay you. That's the only way you're going to get paid. But I think a lot of people are very scared to come forward.
And I think it's a shame that you have to fight for what they've promised you. And that just seems to be the only way right now is you have to press it and you have to put them on the spot. And that really is unfortunate and a shame.
And they're such good people, all of them. They're so lovely. They're so polite. And, you know, a lot of them you really did and were supporting me like, are you okay? And rah, rah. I'm going, wow, you guys are lovely people. Why did you get blocked? Why are you getting mistreated?
So
Exactly.
attempt those 4 ways to get paid, because I'm pretty confident that one of those 4 has a good success chance. If you try all 4, I think you have a good chance of possibly getting some money out of them, because they publicly can't deny it and they have to pay if they want to keep the perception that they're being fair with everyone. And then John and I, as this unfolds and we learn new information, and then more of you maybe report, yeah, this worked, I got paid, we will stay in touch with you to give you maybe a 5th or a 6th strategy or recourse. Next week, we'll be in touch with the next step to do after this. Right now, we just want this to be public so that you have a chance to get paid. And we're doing this very delicately so we don't hurt your chances, and we help everyone have a real chance to get paid here. So,
right. And it was very important that we have the support, that we thank you everyone. That's very, very important. It can't just be me, Anne Marie and I. So thank you.
So we'll notify the SSM exposed group. We'll give you a heads up of the exact time that this story will go live. It'll be updated to the webpage. We'll be updating it with the screenshots we've received from everyone, and being part of that initial conversation, either on my profile or John's, just realizing that what they're gonna do. But that's an opportunity for you to say, look, I haven't been paid. Can I be paid? Put it in.
One massive thing as well is that people do not believe us when we say, hey, do you know how bad we've been mistreated? So if people don't believe us, come check out the page and come check out the fact that how Amanda's spoken to anyone else, because the way she speaks and the way that she has replied to people is actually disgraceful. I don't know how she's a CEO. I don't know how people think she's professional, because according to Amanda, everyone has a mental illness. And when someone says that to many people, I think that person has the mental illness, and I think that person probably needs the meds.
It's a psychological fact.
Look in the mirror.
Psychological fact. When somebody projects like that, they're just projecting upon other people their own issues. So
their own self-awareness.
And Amber, did you have a final thing to say? I see you unmuted yourself again. Was there a final comment?
No, I was just seeing Ambry. She wanted to have something to say. I just saw her little circle go. But if there's anybody out there, or you can speak to your friends, point them through to our group. They can have their say, or we can try and help them. I think the more people that we reach out to, I know they are scared to come forward, but this is the only way you're going to get paid, and if there are enough people come forward, it might even shut down SSM. And I think that's what they're really, really scared about, because they are paying people out left, right, and center just to keep them quiet.
According to Amanda, she says to me, which I have in writing, that she's not scared of anyone or anything. So she's not scared if I do a video every single day, live every day. And I said, oh, right, that's because you're from the hood. And she says, yes, that's right. So she's not scared of anything, guys.
Well, she's been down this route before. So, I mean, not a couple of months ago, she pulled in $500,000 in a scam. So
let's just remind you, she's from the hood. She tells me from the hood.
Yeah. So what's stopping her from pulling the plug on this?
Anyone who Googles Amanda Wray can learn that this is not the first time that she's done something like this. We did not publish that story. That's just freely available if you do your own due diligence. And one minor thing that sort of we've assumed here, that these are the people on this call who have been abused. But I've seen some comments, and actually on the YouTube video, of the previous recording, there's 2 comments from people saying, well, thank you. I was about to join and I didn't. I'm glad I did the research. So thank you all for coming here and telling your story and preventing other people from getting into this situation. That's, like we're doing good in the world by like letting people know, like, don't get involved with this type of thing, because it really is misleading. It's getting people in and then getting them to unwillingly commit a fraud by telling people that it's working out like great, and then they're seducing other people. So it's like a double whammy. Like I forget who was saying earlier in the call, but like I talked my friends into this, and then it proved me right. I mean, it proved me wrong. Like I convinced them to join this because I actually believed it was real. And then once they got in, then they said, was that you, Ambry? And then now I look at it and I feel worse for introducing my friends to this than what happened to me,
Absolutely. I mean, there goes your your reputation as an online marketer. If you put your name out there and say, listen, this is the greatest opportunity, you must do it, and you get all your people on board, and then I mean, it destroys you as a credible marketer.
I know. I've only been in this for what now? A couple of 2 months, and I feel like my reputation's already been ruined.
And that's really sinister, because it's preying on good people who are trying to do something good for everyone they're connected to. And then you didn't know you were recommending something like this to people when you were getting them involved. And that's what's really horrible. And
I think it's been ruined because I spoke out, but a lot of people have thanked me. A lot of people have thanked me that because they said, like what you just said, they said, wow, thank you for that. I was going to join. I also feel like it's kind of been tarnished because people from SSM have go, well, I've been paid.
You know what? It's the same thing with me, Samantha. And you know what? There's always going to be people that are going to like you, and there's always going to be people that are not going to like you. And a lot of times, the people that don't like you are the ones that never even ever spoken to you.
Yeah.
So you can't worry about it. So 2,000 people in SSM. 1,900 of them it's working for. The other 100 it's not. You can't worry about that. This is a big, big world. There's how many billions of people on Facebook? And that's why people like Sarah Louise came into the group, and she tried to siphon off, right? And she started to blast me. I just nailed her left and right. She finally blocked me and left. I don't want her in my algorithm. Thank God she blocked me. But Sarah's been doing this. This is like the 3rd or 4th time that she's done things like this. She's into the scams because she knows she can make money. And she goes from one thing to the next to the next. The last one that she did was not a scam. She made $100,000 and she went on. And the next one she went on to was, I think she went into crypto, but I don't know what was happening there. But guess what? She ended up coming to SSM because, as she says, her words, she aligned with Amanda. Bingo. She went all in at $2,000, and that's because she's a leader, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, what you're telling me, what you're screaming is I'm a scammer too. That's the way I read it. I mean, go read the post that I put. I hit her point for point per point, and I just nailed her left and right. I am not worried about her. It's fun actually. Same thing with Jay Earley. Go sit in the corner and shut up and wait until the FTC comes after you and asks you questions. Then you can talk.
And there's a 5th avenue, guys, that you can have to get your money back. If you paid with PayPal, talk to PayPal. Like Samantha mentioned, going to her bank. Or if you use TransferWise, report it to TransferWise. Say, look, these people taking my money. They're denying me access. That's why that important first step is to approach Amanda directly. If she blocks you, then that makes your case with the bank, with the payment processor. Because here's the thing: if you go to PayPal and complain, and they get all of a sudden 10 complaints, then PayPal will stop them from being able to use it. So that will also help all of this stuff. So that's another way. Like PayPal's pretty liberal with the money that they give back. So if you did use PayPal, go back into your transaction receipts, look for the name of the credit card company, whether it's TransferWise, PayPal, and contact the processor directly. And if you have your receipt of payment in your email, get that transaction ID number. You'll be able to contact them with that. And even if you don't have that, if you can find out who they are, give them your email address, they should be able to make that connection. That's a fifth avenue that you can explore to get the money back.
Thank you,
I
everyone.
think we should cut it here, hey? We can have another group chat another time. I think this has been going on forever. People are getting a little bit bored of us. But we know what's been going on. We know what's right. We know what's wrong. And I think everyone else does that have been mistreated. So if anyone has been mistreated, feel free to come join us. Sorry we talk too much. But we have so much to say.
Everyone on this call spoke except for Shruti Rajput. She, I think it's a she, I think, left. So who knows? Hopefully, maybe that person's bringing it back to the boss. I don't know. You can't search the person in the group, not there. So.
So thank you all for your time. And if you're just learning about this and you want to share your story, you can join us in the Facebook group SSM Exposed, and just check out the links associated with this video to find where to go for that. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your courageousness in speaking up, everyone, and not being intimidated into silence, and for helping all the people not make the same mistake that those of you here have unknowingly made. So
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
See ya. See you guys.
So much,
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.